Hi, I'm Dan Cortopassi. Today I'm reviewing an HO scale GP40-2 locomotive from Athearn Genesis. The locomotive is decorated in Rio Grande's black and orange scheme. This model was lent to me for review by Mark Wiens. Since this isn't my model, I won't be fixing any issues in the rip track segment. Otherwise, this will be just like any other product review. Athearn offers these models in two versions. As this program is being made, the current MSRP for the DCC Ready version is $229.99. The MSRP for the version with DCC and Soundtrack Tsunami 2 sound is $329.99. Mark bought his DCC Ready unit in June 2020 for $159.95 from eBay. Athearn's prices have gone up a little in the past couple of years, so if you can find one, you could probably expect to spend a little more than this now. We'll start the model at 100 possible points. The model comes in a sturdy cardboard box. Inside there are several pages of exploded view drawings and parts listings. A two-piece plastic cradle protects the model. The plastic handrails have foam inserts to keep them from getting bent out of shape. This is a good box that should protect the model for storage and transport. The Electro-Motive GP40-2 was an evolution of the earlier GP40 locomotive with 3,000 horsepower and a 4-axle BB truck configuration. The GP40-2 looks similar to the GP40 but had a number of electrical and other internal improvements. Dash 2 units can be spotted by the water sight glass in the engineer's side of the long hood, the larger electrical cabinet behind the cab on the left side, and the slight overhang of the cab roof in the rear. Rio Grande took delivery of their first GP40-2s in 1972. This unit, 3117, was from a later order of GP40-2s built in 1974. These units were numbered 3116 to 3127. The model appears to be a very close match with respect to paint and detail. It has the most noticeable Rio Grande spotting features, the nose-mounted oscillating light and the medium-sized snowplow. Photos show that by 1993 the unit had been equipped with ditch lights and a beacon while retaining its class lights and the oscillating nose light. Sometime between 1996 and 1999, the oscillating lights and class lights were removed. Still in Rio Grande paint, 3117 was patched and renumbered Union Pacific 1368 in October 2005. Photos show it was repainted into UP yellow in early September 2009. The ACI label locations don't match the photos I found of this unit, which show the labels on both sides affixed to plates attached to the handrail stanchions. I should note that the ACI label locations are correct for some other Rio Grande GP40-2s from earlier orders. It looks like the units from the order including 3117 were delivered with ACI labels on the handrails. I feel like Athearn should have caught this, so I'm taking 5 points. It also looks like these units only had the front wind deflector next to the cab windows. It doesn't look like it would be too hard to remove the rear ones if you wanted to. The paint on the engine is opaque and thin enough to allow the detail on the shell to show through. The separation lines between the colors are sharp and the writing is crisp. This engine doesn't have a lot of warning labels, but what little tiny writing there is on the truss plate and builder's plate is legible with magnification. There are small voids in the large Rio Grande lettering on the sides at door seams where there would be gaps in the real units as well. The handrails are made of a flexible plastic that should stand up to normal handling. The stanchions are mostly straight up and down. In front, the engine has freestanding grab irons, an uncoupling lever, MU stand, air hoses, and a snowplow. The number boards are not lit. Likewise, the class lights don't even have lenses, just dots of silver paint. The cab has photo-etched metal sunshades and delicate windshield wipers. The cab side windows are movable. They tend to move around on their own, so if you want them to stay put, a drop or two of canopy glue would help. It's hard to see, but there's a green painted cab interior. In back, the model has more freestanding grab irons. Details on the rear pilot are similar to the front, except that it has a box beam instead of a plow. On top of the cab, there's a horn casting and antenna. On the real unit, the horn was relocated to the long hood by 1993. The turbo exhaust has a see-through grille, though from some angles you can see full-sized wires and electronics through it. The dynamic brake and radiator fans have photo-etched grills with nice blade detail underneath. The fuel tank area has nice plumbing detail that appears to be correct for this unit. The trucks have separately applied brake lines. There are sander lines near the end of the unit. Undersill detail is fairly minimal but includes most of what can be seen from normal viewing angles when the model is on the track. All of the wheels pick up current and all the axles are powered. The engine has plastic McHenry knuckle couplers on both ends. The front coupler is low, so I'm taking 5 points. The rear coupler is high. All of the wheels are in gauge according to the NMRA standards gauge. There's no noticeable body wobble. The engine weighs 14.5 ounces. Drawbar pull peaked at 2.8 ounces on my force gauge, about average for an HO scale diesel. On DC, all the front lights come on at the same time. Brightness is dependent on track power. The oscillating light doesn't actually oscillate. Installing a DCC decoder would be the easiest way to achieve better light control. The rear light comes on when the model runs in reverse. I'm using an MRC RailPower 1300 to test the engine. The model starts and runs smoothly. To take the model apart, remove the screws that hold the draft gear boxes, and then remove the couplers and draft gear boxes. The shell will lift off the frame. Inside there's a 21-pin dummy plug on top of the factory light board. The easiest way to install DCC is to replace this dummy plug with a 21-pin decoder. There's a detachable frame rate in the back of the locomotive that could be removed or cut down to make room for a speaker. Let's see what we've got. The ACI label locations are incorrect for this unit, so I took 5 points in the prototype accuracy category. Both couplers were at the wrong height, so I took 10 points in the standards and operation category. That leaves us with 85 out of 100 possible points, a solid B on our report card. This model gets a green signal. Overall, I think Athearn did a really nice job on this model. If you're looking for some Rio Grande power for your HO scale layout, then I think you might like it. If you like this video, then please like and subscribe. Stay tuned and thanks for watching.